Michigan and Alabama, and it was all iconic. The venue was iconic. The programs, iconic. The coaches, iconic. It's Harbaugh, it's Saban. Here we go. Back and forth all night long. Fourth quarter, Bama down by 3. Jalen Milroe finally breaks one.
Yeah, I was surprised it took Alabama so long to get to this designed quarterback run. Allowed their offensive line to start to control the football game, the physicality. They find a way to punch in and take a lead late in that fourth quarter.
Alabama up 17-13. Now their lead is 7. Michigan, 3 timeouts with 3 minutes and change left on a fourth down at their own 33. A gutsy decision, Harbaugh to go for it.
Gutsy, but the right one, especially when you know you have the ideal and perfect play call. I love what Sharon Moore, the offensive coordinator for Michigan, does. Gets the advantage. It's an easy throw for J.J. McCarthy and a great conversion.
Anybody here surprised they went for it there rather than punting?
I was surprised, but Dan's point is a good one. They know they're going to get man coverage. They go 4 by 1. They're going to finish that.
Then that sets up this. Roman Wilson makes a catch that will live forever. That's a game-sealing interception, Dan, if he doesn't go up and get it.
Yeah, first of all, it's a great job by Lawson to get in that right hand tipped on it. Watch Roman Wilson reach out his right hand. That initially kind of gets a hand on the football, and then the concentration essentially through contact.
And then here's Wilson again for the tying score.
Again, a beautiful play design by Michigan to take advantage of Alabama's defense.
Did anyone think they would go for the 2 in the win?
Absolutely not.
I hope so.
No
Howard. Dan Campbell coaching?
That's well put. All right, to the overtime we go. Blake Corn. Jeff, this is too easy.
Can't do it. Can games be won in the trenches? Yes, they can, because that's what just happened right there. Alabama again.
It took 150 seconds.
Yep. Michigan up by 7. Alabama needs to answer. 3rd and goal from the 14, Dan.
Yeah, this is the right completion. You're a long way away. Burton gets one-on-one. The downside is he's their best pass catcher, gets them in the 4th and goal without him.
Here's your ball game. Chris Fowler, take it.
Game on the line. It's Williams in motion. Low snap. Milroe stopped. Michigan makes a stand and comes up with a milestone playoff victory.
The great call by Chris in the moment, because once again, that snap is low, and that was the story of the night, and it certainly impacts the play. We have all morning long to dissect exactly what did and didn't happen there, but one way or another, you see the agony of defeat on the face of Jalen Milroe and the ecstasy for Harbaugh and the Wolverines. They're on their way to the title. Jim, how about all the tumultuous season?
You know, it's almost been an unfair advantage. I mean, all the things that the team has gone through. I mean, we don't care anymore. We don't care what people say. We don't care about anything that comes up. We just know we're going to overcome it.
I told him before the game it's going to be about what we do, and when you look back at it, it's kind of about what we did and what we didn't do. Not taking anything away from Michigan. They played a great game. They got a good team. They're very well coached, but you know, we could have done things a little better as well. And that's on me, on the coaches. It's not anybody else.
All right, everybody, put your feet up. We have all morning long to dive into all the things that, as Saban said, did and did not happen last night. And let's begin with that final play, because it is in its own way a microcosm of the night that we had. We happen to have one of the genuinely great offensive centers in the history of the NFL.
They matter.
And that's Jeff Saturday. Jeff, why can't we get the ball snapped to the quarterback all night long and then on the play that decides the season?
Yeah, it started early. Obviously, it was a bad snap early. I actually think that went to the guard. There was miscommunication. He has another bad snap. You just felt the pressure. And listen, the tighter you get down to the goal line, those pressure situations, you feel it. And I'm sure he felt that the ball's a little low. Milroe has to make a play on it. Again, I'm going to say this about the call. Whatever you think about the call, love it, hate it, follow your guard on that. You can't go inside. You have to follow your guard. If
Here we go.
Could be different.
Okay, so before we get into the final play, Michigan completely outcoached Alabama, both offensively and defensively in this game. To the final play, I think it's a good play call.
Yeah.
I think that Jalen Milroe.
Let me stop you there. People are waking up this morning, they watch it last night, and they're hearing Dan Orlovsky say, snap the ball to the quarterback, have him run directly into the butt of his offensive lineman. How is it? Explain how it's a good play call.
So the play call, you motion in the back out. When that linebacker that we see kind of running comes from the backside, Jalen Milroe, I would have expected to throw that ball to the back, and it's basically a foot race to the pylon. That's essentially the goal. Michigan is blitzing everybody like they did from literally the first play of the game throughout the whole football game. You guys are making the snap sound like the ball is rolled back.
No.
He catches it like mid-calf.
I mean, if you
he's
want
an
him,
unbelievable athlete.
If you want him to be able to make that throw, the snap needs to be better.
Right. A little bit better,
To
yes.
be able to read where the coverage is coming from and make the decision to throw the ball, I think that had something to do with the decision, because I had the same thought as you. Is when I see that linebacker running, I'm like, ooh, we got a
Especially
linebacker
from the
and a
back
running
side.
back in space.
man.
Right.
It don't matter what side. To me,
Well,
it's like,
front
I like
side.
this. No, I understand.
Yeah.
It's better position, but I'm thinking I got a one-on-one in this situation with a bunch of space. I like that, but he can't see.
Taylor, jump in here with us here. The final play of the game, how did you see it?
I thought it was a great job by Michigan calling zero in that situation. I have to disagree with Orlovsky here. I don't think it's a good call when you look back at Alabama and how they've kind of handled themselves from a run aspect throughout the game. What it really was, what gave them the most success is the RPO type of situation. I think if you give Milroe the opportunity to look, see if a linebacker is going to break on the run or stay back, then you're able to throw that ball. If not, let him use his athleticism to buy some time. I think when you do a direct run in a power scheme like that, it almost turns into you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. But with the opportunity to have an RPO, you're now looking at to see where he's had those big runs, those almost X plays throughout the game that came at chunks at a time.
Well, I mean, if you're first of all, that is an RPO. That's called because he can run quarterback power essentially or kick the ball out essentially in one-on-one. If you're talking you wanted an RPO that was maybe more to the perimeter and a flat route or something like that, I could see. But this is a pretty good call. If the snap is ideal, I would be surprised if Jalen doesn't throw that ball again to the back. If the snap is ideal, maybe it's just quarterback power and you follow the guard. My only issue with all of this is we're not giving credit to how Michigan collapses the line of scrimmage on the backside. Again, Michigan had one more than Alabama had. Burton going out is a big part of this, but Michigan blitzes again and collapses the offensive line. Watch the right side of the offensive line just get absolutely dump truck. I know Jeff keeps saying like follow the guard. I don't know if the perfect snap even allows him to follow the guard because
Still outnumbered. He's still outnumbered at that point.
They had no plan for pressure.
Yep.
First play of the game, no plan for pressure. And you saw, and again, when you talk about moments building up, once a defense feels that you don't have the answer, they're going to keep bringing it until you show you can answer it. And Alabama had no answer in the first half. The second half answer is really let Milroe go make a play. That again, is not a true answer. And so when you saw Michigan get everybody open in the flats, when they're on offense all day long and like nobody went to coverage, where was Alabama's answer from an offensive perspective? They didn't have it. And again, when you're putting all five of those guys, the offensive line from Alabama had these struggles all season. They're slow on the outside. Inside, they get pushed back. They don't give Milroe a ton of space. This was not new. So for anybody who thinks, hey, Alabama dominated up front all season, they did not. Teams showed this before. I thought they would have much better answers.
Let me get Taylor in on this. What'd you think, Taylor?
Yeah, so I think when you look back at the coaching and getting ready for this game, incredible coordinated rushes with the inside twist and then having contained with the defensive ends. They did a great job in that. Bringing the blitz is what is disappointing to me because Nick Saban is a legend. He is one of the greatest college football coaches of all time. When you're giving up 5 sacks in the first half, you need to get to the sideline. You need to start throwing chips and get your quarterback a little bit of confidence with some short intermediate throws. And I just felt like they waited till the second half to make those adjustments. When it's bleeding like that, they should have sat on the sideline and say, hey, we got to throw a tight end in here. We're going to keep the back end more often. Yeah. And it hurt them towards the end.
Let me say this, too, about quarterbacks, is once teams know that their quarterback's going to drop his eyes because there is so much, and this is no fault of any quarterback. Once you get hit, you're sacked 5 times, you tell me you ain't looking for it, like everybody, but you start to hear footsteps, right? You start to feel pressure. You start to make poor decisions. That's what happens for quarterbacks. And to Taylor's point, like at some point, give him max pro, like help him out where he can stand in there, or just or go, hey, we're going to go run the rock all the time.
So you guys keep talking about the first play of the game. Michigan defensively blitzes Alabama. I actually remember when it happened, I was surprised that they brought pressure from the first snap of the game. Yeah. And it was very clear that the defensive coordinator, Jesse Minter, wanted to figure out very quickly, all right, can you handle it? And from the first snap of the game, Alabama said, we can't. And I was shocked that Alabama just kept playing drop-back football.
Yes.
This is in the second quarter,
Crazy.
drop-back football on first down, linebacker pressures, they slant the defensive line. Then it gets to the fourth quarter. This is second and goal. That's the very same snap defensively as the first snap of the game.
Yep.
They bring the edge pressure, defensive line has to slant. That equals third and goal in forever. And then this is the last play of the game with the zero pressure. That was one of my big takeaways in the game, was that Michigan declared early on, Alabama, it is going to come all night long, pressurized. And Alabama really took a whole half to adjust with some type of counter, which was like a little bit more quarterback run.